Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for visiting the YouTube channel for bestbiblecommentaries.com. In this video, I'm going to talk about a book lot that I recently picked up, and I'll tell you why I got the titles I did, and maybe one would interest you to consider for your own library. Before I do that, I invite you to like the video, subscribe, and comment if you like. Also, I'm going to put links to these books down in the description box, and so if you want to explore them more or pick one up for yourself, that's a great way. Using those links is a great way to help support the channel. All right, so let me just kind of do an overview here, and I'll tell you how this lot came about. So a guy was selling a lot that was maybe 3 or 4 times this size, and I didn't want to pay his full price, but there was a percentage of books that I already had, and there was a percentage of books that I wasn't interested in. So I approached him and just said, here's what I would like to pay. Would it be possible to pick out some different titles that I would like for my library? And we agreed to an amount, and then we agreed to all of these books as part of it. And so I'm really happy he got a good deal on it, and I paid probably 50% of what I would have paid for these books. They're almost all new. A few have a little bit of shelf wear, but a few have a couple of creases, but for the most part, they are all new and never used. So, all right, so let me go through and show you the different titles. I'll start with this set down here. This is a set, I think it's the full set. Actually, I haven't checked yet. I think it's the full set, but it's part of the series from 9 Marks. This is the only one that I have read previously. It's called Church Elders. It was good. And there are other topics: expository preaching, church membership there to the right, evangelism, discipleship, church discipline, deacons, conversion, biblical theology, sound doctrine. So I believe these are part of Mark Dever's ministry, or come from Mark Dever's ministry, and they're for the benefit of the church. Here's one on corporate worship, for example. So I think new, these are maybe like $10 each, probably a little bit cheaper used. So it seems like a great set to add to my library, so we included those in the lot. All right, let me go over here to a couple of study Bibles that I picked up. One is Systematic Theology Study Bible, which I believe now has a second edition. I'm not sure. I don't know a lot about the second edition. I think it's pretty new. But it's not a verse by verse study Bible. It's more short articles that cover different topics. So here's Attributes of God. So this is from Malachi. Attributes of God, and on this side we have the Day of the Lord. 1 Corinthians 2, we have salvation, and then sin. So it's a Systematic Theology Study Bible from Crossway, right? Yep, Crossway, ESV. Here is a Bible that I did not know existed. This is the cover for it. It's also ESV. It's called ESV Bible with Creeds and Confessions. And as far as I can tell, there's not really study notes at the bottom of the page. There's cross-references, it looks like, at the bottom of the page. But in the back of the book, here's the Canons of Dort, Westminster Confession, Heidelberg Catechism. So I'm not sure how many. There's Belgic Confession, Augsburg Confession. I'm not sure how many are in here, but that seems to be the uniqueness of this study Bible. It's Holy Bible with Creeds and Confessions. All right. Well, let's look at this set. This is a set of New Testament. This is the entire New Testament in 5 volumes. From Crossway. I've had my eye on this set for a while. I haven't spent a lot of time with it yet, but I probably will make its own video. It's called Expository Commentary. And I am familiar with some of the authors. Some pretty well-known authors contributed to this series. It looks to be mid-level. I believe the purpose of it is for pastors. I'm anxious to dig into that a little bit further. Let's go up here, the ESV Bible Atlas. This is a heavy, oversized book. I've known of this book for a long time, but never had the opportunity to pick up an affordable copy. It looks similar, the maps look similar to the ESV Study Bible. And compared to, I maybe have one other Bible Atlas, and this one seems like it has a lot more information. So I'm excited to add that to my collection. All right, these ones aren't really reference tools, but I'll show them anyway. So this is from John Piper on preaching. It's called Expository Exaltation, Christian Preaching as Worship. So I do like reading preaching books once in a while. My favorites are Martin Lloyd-Jones, Preaching and Preachers, and probably John Stott's Between Two Worlds. So I don't know if this is going to break into that category. It would probably be hard to break into that category in my viewpoint, but I was interested in the title, so I pulled it out and made it part of the lot. And then this book. I've actually been wanting to study logic more from a biblical perspective. I took a class on it in college and didn't pay very good attention. So I would like to pay more attention. So this is a great example of a book. I didn't even know this book existed until I found this lot. So the author is Vern. I think it's Poythress. Is that how you say his last name? I actually have a couple other books on by him on my shelf in my library, but I can't recall ever hearing his name out loud, so I'm sorry if I got the name wrong. The subtitle is A God-Centered Approach to the Foundation of Western Thought. So I do want a textbook that has, all of the formulas, all of the syllogisms and fallacies, and to go through all of that material. But this, from my understanding, this one also combines theology in the discussion. So I was excited to add this to my shelf. Since I'm going to be pursuing this study a little bit more, if anybody has any recommendations on logic textbooks, I would be interested to know why what the names are and why you recommend them. All right, moving on. We have the Interlinear Bible, Hebrew, Greek, and English. This is a big, oversized book, kind of like the ESV Atlas. This is from Holman. And the only drawback, as I've flipped through this a little bit, is the print is so small. I definitely will need reading glasses or magnifying glass, maybe. So that's the Hebrew. And the Greek. So I suppose the benefit of this resource is having interlinear Hebrew and Greek, the entire Bible, Old and New Testament, in one volume, which makes the book larger. But that's the benefit of it. I picked up these two introductory language books. So Hebrew, latest edition for Hebrew, and then the latest edition for Greek. Mounce, I'm very familiar with. Spent time with this resource. Not familiar with Pratico and Van Pelt. So if you are, let me know how you think that one is as far as an introduction goes. All right, and a couple of readers back here. So this is I forgot, are these from Crossway? Yeah, these are Crossway. This guy had a lot of Crossway, which is kind of cool, but there was a lot of Crossway. So this is the Old Testament Reader Edition. Now, I don't know about you, but I do have a reader or two on my shelf, and usually it's original language on one side and then English on the other side. This one is a little bit different. So we have the Hebrew at the top of the page, and then we have, it's not a smooth translation, it's more of parsing, and it looks like definitions for verbs and nouns, but parsing as well. So, and this is how it is throughout. So it's a reader in the sense of it's giving you this other information. Like I said, just a little different in the readers that I've seen, but maybe these are common and my other ones are unusual. I don't know. So same with the Greek. You have the Greek in the top of the page, and then down at the bottom we have parsing and very, very, very brief definitions. So I think this could be helpful. I've taken my Greek New Testament to church on occasion and used it in following along in sermons. And I can see how this tool, it just has a brief dictionary, a short dictionary in the back. But I can see how a reader like this would be helpful for that purposes, because, there's plenty of words in here that I would not recall off the top of my head. And so this could be helpful. So, so I was excited to pick up those readers. All right. So let me know if you have any of these in your library and what you think or what looks interesting to you. Check out the links below, and I'll see you next time.